Hey there shooters, Mike Seaclender here, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about the differences between defensive handgun on the range and defensive handgun online. So if you took my defensive handgun course, it's a 2-day course. On the range, we would obviously meet in a group and do paperwork and do some brief safety lectures and stuff like that. And then we'd spend about 4 hours of your time talking about distance and timing, talking about draw considerations, talking about defensive handgun setup and gear, your belt, your mag pouch, your holster, your system. We'd also start some dry fire drills, a manipulation drill where I'm teaching you how to tap and rack the handgun, how we build the grip, how we build our stance in an athletic position, how we scan, how we draw. And that's all done on the range. We'd never fire a live round, typically in my classes, till very, very close to noon. It's about a 4-hour block of instruction. Now, compare that to defensive handgun online, you're gonna get the exact same thing. The only difference is I'm gonna be watching you and you're gonna be watching me via video conferencing software. So you log in, you look at the screen, you watch me. If your camera's on, I can watch you. So when we're doing the dry fire drills and then going through all of this content, I'm critiquing you and correcting things or whatever else. So defensive handgun online and on the range are in essence pretty much the same there. The only difference is, of course, I happen to be out here in the sunlight on the range. Now, how do we live fire with a defensive handgun online course? Well, it's gonna be very, very simple. After we're done with that initial block of instruction and I've assessed your dry fire skills and I've taught you how to draw and we work through all of these processes, then you're gonna start to begin to get a set of assignments. So every week I'm gonna send you one assignment that's gonna have 2 live fire drills. Your mission is to go to the range and train and do those live fire drills. Now, what I want from you in that particular case is I want photography and videography of your target and you doing the drill. Now, if you can't do that, that's okay. We can still have our group learning discussions without those, but that's gonna allow me to give you feedback. But once you do the drill, what you're gonna know right away is, hey, I'm making these mistakes. I'm pulling the shots here on the target. I'm doing this or I'm doing that, or I don't understand this. That way we're gonna meet up at the end of that particular session. So you're gonna get an assignment, you're gonna train, and then we're gonna meet up again and I'm gonna look at your video, pictures of your targets, and I'm gonna answer your questions about what's going on. I'm also gonna give you some critical feedback on what the drill should have taught you and some of the mistakes you probably saw. Once we're done with that, your next assignment's gonna show up. You're gonna log in, check out that assignment, go to the range, do your live fire work, take your notes, get your video, get your photographs, whatever you have to provide feedback for me, and then we're gonna meet again and I'm gonna debrief that live fire drill, talking to you about the mistakes that I normally see, some of the things that you should have learned, and we're gonna do an in-depth question and answer period. Now, here's the deal. This is not a fire and forget system. Like you get a series of videos that you pay for, you log in and watch them at will. This is a deal where you've got to show up. You've got to show up to the Zoom session or the online session for that 4-hour block, and you have to do the assignments every week. If you don't do the assignments every single week, you're going to get nothing out of the course and you're not going to graduate the course. And that's the cool thing. After a period of time, week by week, as you train, I assess, critique, and coach your training. You're eventually going to work toward the end where you're going to do a handgun skills assessment, and then you're going to graduate the course. So there's not a lot of difference in terms of the drills. As a matter of fact, my range defensive handgun course and my online defensive handgun course have exactly the same drills, exactly the same content, exactly the same lessons learned or lessons. So what you're going to find in the end is defensive handgun online is going to teach you the exact same material that you would learn in defensive handgun on the range. The only difference is we're utilizing technology and the advantages of technology, so you don't have to physically be here with me. But I promise you, you're gonna learn and improve those skills. So give it a shot, defensive handgun online. If you can't make it to one of my classes, it's the next best thing.